GreenLight Fund is a nonprofit organization that operates at the intersection of community need and social innovation. We believe that in every city, there's incredible work that's happening that's supporting families that are living in poverty. But there's usually some gaps, some opportunities for us to do some new things and do them better. Where there are organizations doing incredible work, where we think that there could be a nonprofit solution that doesn't exist in the Bay Area, but does exist across the country that we could bring here. Typically, GreenLight runs a very disciplined, rather lengthy selection cycle process. We usually do our work over the course of a year in order to make one major investment. This time, when shelter in place was called, we wondered if there was an opportunity for us to do our work a bit faster in response to this crisis.
And I know immediately I thought about it and I said, wait a minute, how can we speed this process up? And then on second thought, I said, know what? If anybody could do it, GreenLight Fund could absolutely get it done.
I've been a fan, and all of us at Okta have been fans of GreenLight for a long time. We really view GreenLight as an opportunity to have a leveraged approach to our philanthropy.
GreenLight Fund is compelling because of its approach, because of its rigor, and then because of its support.
When shelter in place was called, what we saw was an explosion in the digital equity divide in the Bay Area. And so GreenLight Fund saw a major opportunity in improving access to strong internet and devices and digital skill building training so that we make sure that families not only have access to these things, but they can utilize them properly and safely.
The California Emerging Technology Fund in the city of San Jose is excited to partner with EveryoneOn. Through the San Jose Digital Inclusion Partnership, our goal is to connect 50,000 households with affordable internet connection, a computing device, and the digital literacy skills training to support families to achieve the outcomes that they wish to achieve.
It was exciting that there was an organization that had done its due diligence. So when they reached out, I was very happy, number one, to just talk about our work at EveryoneOn, to talk about our collective impact model, to talk about opportunities to collaborate and even start brainstorming how we would come to the Bay Area and what kind of partners we would reach out to and what the programmatic work would be. So I was really excited.
We are proposing a 3-year grant for $300,000 total.
Wow, amazing. Wow, I totally wasn't expecting that.
We want to make sure that we're helping build communities and a society where it doesn't matter what zip code you live in, what your household income is, or what your educational attainment is, that you will know how to use the internet, you will have access to high-speed internet, and you will be comfortable and confident in really leveraging and harnessing the power of technology.
We also saw a massive need around food insecurity. So for a long time in the Bay Area, there's particular communities that have been food deserts. In many cases, students rely on their school to be the provider of sometimes breakfast and lunch and supper. And all of those resources were strained with COVID.
Food Connect is a nonprofit organization that bridges the gap between surplus food and hunger. We use technology and real-time collaboration to help connect those who have food with those who need food.
We were really excited because Food Connect had the talent and the expertise that we didn't have. Our response to COVID in San Francisco is different than what a lot of people have seen on the news. You know, a lot of people see these drive-up situations where parents are pulling up in their car. In San Francisco, we don't have that type of setup. You know, so many of our families are walking to our food distribution locations or they're taking public transit. Getting this amount of food to and from your home is a real challenge. At one point, we experimented doing boxes of food, and what we found is that families were taking apart the box and leaving a lot of the food because they just could not get it home. When you gave us a call in the spring and said, hey, we've got this great company called Food Connect, how can they maybe help you? And I've had very few times where I've had one of those moments where the skies parted and the sun came down and shined and the angels sang, and this was one of those times. I saw that as an opportunity for us to do more and do better for these kids in particular, and to be able to expand this program. Our families are relying on our home deliveries, our door-to-door program, to be able to access these meals for their children.
When GreenLight shared with us that they wanted to fund us for the Bay Area, it was disbelief. For so many years, you work so hard and see all of the gaps in our society, and it's so nice, that aha moment when somebody else looks at that and says, hey, we want to do something with you, we want to help you and really be a partner in this.
We just see so much promise in what you're doing, and you as a leader, too.
Thank you. It's been a lot, so thank you.
Our investment in Everyone On and Food Connect means that we have now contributed $4.8 million to 7 organizations across the Bay Area. These are all organizations that didn't exist in the Bay Area until we pulled them into the community. And since they have been here, they have now raised upwards of $32 million since our selection.
I think about the impact GreenLight makes as a ripple effect. There's the direct impact of the organizations that they bring into our community and help to make successful. And there's the impact across the country when those solutions and innovations and organizations are shared in terms of what we learn and what we gain as a country. And I also think that there's something very special about what they bring through the use of the Selection Advisory Council and the cross-sector collaboration that happens when you bring people together from across the Bay Area community and you give them a voice and you give them a say in what matters most and how we try and solve that together. That's very, very powerful.
I think there's something to be said about talking. I think there's a totally different thing to be said about doing. And I appreciate the fact that GreenLight Fund has decided that they're going to lead with their actions.
We're living in dark times, but in dark times, it makes it easier to see the light. And GreenLight Fund is truly, truly the light in the world today.